All right, hello everyone. This is Paul from SpanishWithPaul.com, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to deal with one of the hardest words to translate from English into Spanish, and that word is get. Now, most people don't know how to do this, and with good reason, because there isn't actually a word in Spanish for get. Instead, we have to use a variety of substitutes. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you one of the most powerful substitutes you can use to get around this problem. If becoming fluent in conversational Spanish is one of your goals for this year, then consider clicking the link above to download my free course books that go along with all of my YouTube lessons. You can also subscribe to my channel to get a brand new Spanish lesson from me every single Monday. So with that out of the way, let's get started. In English, we use the word get quite a lot. For example, I get happy, I get sad. Where can I get one? I need to get home early today. I just don't get it. He gets to do it, but not me. So you can see everything is get, get, get. We use it a lot in English. There are a number of substitutes for this in Spanish, but one of the most important ones is se pone. Se pone. Now we use this as a substitute for he, she, or it gets, and you could also say he, she, or it becomes. So either of those, se pone. Let's work through some examples so you can see exactly how it works. The word for sad in Spanish is triste. Triste. So if we wanted to express he gets sad, it would be se pone triste. This could equally be used for he becomes sad, because it's really the same thing. He gets sad or he becomes sad. Se pone triste. You can also add a name to that to be more specific. For example, Pablo gets sad or becomes sad would be Pablo se pone triste. How would you say Erica gets sad? Erica se pone triste. Do you remember how to say I am here? Estoy aquí. What about I'm not here? No estoy aquí. Now try this one. Pablo gets sad when I'm not here. Pablo se pone triste cuando no estoy aquí. The word cuando means when, but it can also mean whenever. So when or whenever, cuando. Try this one. Erica becomes sad whenever I'm not here. Erica se pone triste cuando no estoy aquí. The word for nervous in Spanish is nervioso. So we have nervioso. Nervioso. How would you say he gets nervous? Se pone nervioso. What about Pablo gets nervous? Pablo se pone nervioso. If we wanted to say she gets nervous, we have to make a little change. It would be se pone nerviosa. So, just to clarify, if we're referring to Pablo, then we're going to say se pone nervioso, ending in an O. But if we're referring to Erica, a female, this is going to change to an A. So we have se pone nerviosa. How would you say Erica gets nervous? Erica se pone nerviosa. What's the verb to talk? Hablar. If we want to express he or she talks, it goes to habla, habla. How would you say she talks with Carlos? Habla con Carlos. Now try this longer one. Erica gets nervous whenever she talks with Carlos. Erika se pone nerviosa cuando habla con Carlos. How would you say very nervous if we're still referring to Erika? Muy nerviosa. Try this one. Erika gets very nervous whenever she talks with Carlos. Erika se pone muy nerviosa cuando habla con Carlos. What about if we switched it around? How would you say Pablo becomes very nervous whenever he talks with Erika? Think it out. Pablo se pone muy nervioso cuando habla con Erika. Hopefully you caught the fact that nervioso had to change to the O instead of the A because we're now referring to Pablo. The word for jealous in Spanish is celoso, celoso. How would you say Francisco gets jealous? Francisco se pone celoso. How do you say all the time? Todo el tiempo. Now say, Francisco gets jealous all the time. Francisco se pone celoso todo el tiempo. How would you say this one? Carolina gets jealous all the time. Be careful here. Carolina se pone celosa todo el tiempo. Can you see how, again, we had to change celoso to celosa because now we are referring to a female, which is Carolina. To say my husband would be mi esposo. We have e followed by sposo. Mi esposo is my husband, ending in an o. But if you want to say my wife, it would be mi esposa, now changing to an a. Mi esposa. Let's use these. How would you say, my husband gets very jealous? Mi esposo se pone muy celoso. Now this one, my wife gets very jealous. Mi esposa se pone muy celosa. You see how careful we have to be with the endings of words in Spanish, because this gets transformed so easily from my husband with an o, mi esposo, and muy celoso. You see how it matches, loves to agree. But if we switch over to my wife, this is mi esposa, and now this becomes muy celosa. Do you remember how to say I would like? Me gustaría. And what's the verb to go out? Salir. Now say I would like to go out. Me gustaría salir. How do you say with my friends? This is from a previous lesson. Con mis amigos. Let's try a longer sentence now. I would like to go out with my friends, but my husband gets very jealous. Pause and think it out. Me gustaría salir con mis amigos, pero mi esposo se pone muy celoso. Let's switch it now to the other angle. How would you say, I would like to go out with my friends, but my wife gets very jealous? Me gustaría salir con mis amigos, pero mi esposa se pone muy celosa. So far, we've been working with he gets or she gets, which is se pone. But we also have I get. And for that, we're going to use me pongo. Me pongo. This means I get. Let's practice. What's the word for sad? Triste. Now, how would you say I get sad? Me pongo triste. What's the word for nervous? Nervioso or nerviosa if you're a female referring to yourself. How would you say I get nervous? Me pongo nervioso or nerviosa. What's the word for jealous? Celoso or celosa. Now say, I get jealous. Me pongo celoso or me pongo celosa. The word for depressed in Spanish is deprimido, or again you can change it to deprimida if you are a female referring to yourself or you are referring to some other female. So the syllables would be de, pri, mi, do. Deprimido. How would you say, I get depressed? Me pongo deprimido or deprimida. What's the word for always? Siempre. If you wanted to say, I always get depressed, the word order is important because this word always will be placed at the very front of the sentence. How would you say that? I always get depressed. Siempre me pongo deprimido or deprimida. How would you say I can't go out? This again is from the mini course series. No puedo salir. Now let's put it together. I always get depressed whenever I can't go out with my friends. Pause and think it out. Siempre me pongo deprimido o deprimida cuando no puedo salir con mis amigos. Let's run through some final questions now to see if you've really got the hang of it. Remember that your choices are se pone for he gets or she gets and me pongo for I get. How would you say I'm not here? No estoy aquí. Pablo gets sad when I'm not here. Pablo se pone triste cuando no estoy aquí. What's the word for depressed? Deprimido or deprimida. Now say, Pablo gets depressed whenever I'm not here. Pablo se pone deprimido cuando no estoy aquí. What's the verb to talk? Hablar. And how do you say he or she talks? Habla. Now try this. Erica gets nervous whenever she talks with Carlos. Erika se pone nerviosa cuando habla con Carlos. How would you say I get nervous whenever I have to talk with Carlos? Me pongo nervioso or nerviosa cuando tengo que hablar con Carlos. Carolina gets jealous all the time. Carolina se pone celosa todo el tiempo. How do you say my husband? Mi esposo. Now try this. I would like to go out with my friends, but my husband gets very jealous. Me gustaría salir con mis amigos, pero mi esposo se pone muy celoso. If you're serious about learning Spanish and want to become conversationally fluent, my main course, Spanish with Paul, is live and available for you now. Inside you'll get my complete course, none of which is available on YouTube, and also my personal attention to make sure you achieve conversational fluency in the fastest time possible. In short, if you liked my free lessons on YouTube and the results they're giving you, then you'll love what I have for you inside the main course. You can click the link on the screen now to find out all the details. So with that said, I look forward to seeing you again in my next video.